Hey faith babies, welcome back to God the Promise Keeper, where I am strengthening hearts through faith, hope, and love. Today, giving 5 keys on how to recover from heartbreak. Right, everybody, if not everybody, if you haven't, you more than likely will, but just about everybody have experienced heartbreak. And sometimes not having the proper tools of how to recover from heartbreak can make it that much more difficult to be able to recover from heartbreak, or it can delay. And sometimes we take that heartache, we take that pain into another relationship, and we make somebody who is not responsible, somebody who is innocent, and they end up paying for what somebody else has done. So the keys that I'm going to give today is how to recover from heartbreak. I'll be giving 5 keys, and there will probably be a part 2 so that I'll be able to give 5 more keys. These keys has helped me in one of the most devastating times in my life, when I had to experience heartbreak on a degree that I never thought that I would have to experience. If you haven't already, I need you to go ahead and click that, you already know, subscribe button. Go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and share this video. Share it with somebody who may be experiencing heartbreak or who haven't quite gotten over a heartbreak, so that they will be able to recover, so that they'll be able to receive all that God has for them. And when God do send them their person, their God ordained person in their life, they'll know how to properly engage them. So if you haven't, remember to like, remember to subscribe, and remember to comment. Remember, we're building a relationship. Don't forget that we're building a relationship. Yeah. Sometimes I think I can sing, but I know I can't sing. Singing ain't my thing. I can hold a little tune every now and again, but I can't really sing. All right, so back to it. Number 1, you have to embrace the new reality of you no longer being with this individual. You have to embrace the new reality of them no longer being in your life. You have to get out of your mind everything that you thought that what you and this individual would be, or what you and this individual would become. So getting that out of your mind, embracing that you now have to step into this newness. So sometimes embracing a new reality, sometimes that can be very hard, because this could be somebody, especially if you've been with this person for years. It could be very difficult for you to try to move on, or for you to see yourself with someone else, for you to see your future with someone else. Sometimes that can be very difficult, but with God, it can be obtained. So asking God to renew your heart, to give you a new heart, or to heal your heart, so that you will be able to receive the newness that He desires to bring into your life. Embracing this new reality is sometimes it's not always easy. Sometimes it's more difficult, but we cannot move on to embrace our future if we are in denial of our new reality. Our new reality is that we are no longer with this person, that there is no us, there's no we, there's no none of that. So this person, you have to completely cut the cord, cut the tie between you and this individual, so that you will be able to move on. Because if they try to come back, they will always be an option if you do not have it set in your heart, or have it set, or have come into agreement with this new reality. When they try to come back, especially if this person was toxic, if this person was abusive, physically or mentally or emotionally, then if they try to come back, if you have not come into agreement with this new reality, or have embraced this new reality, then it will be easy for them to come back, and you'll find yourself in cycles. And embracing the new reality also comes with embracing the pain, actually leaning into the pain that comes with this heartbreak, that comes with this, with you guys separated. Number 2 is having an atmosphere to grieve. So you must create an atmosphere for you to be able to grieve, whether that's in your prayer closet, or whether that's at someone's house. I know when I went through my time, I actually stayed at someone's house for about 5 or 6 days. I called it my safe house. And in this atmosphere, they played nothing but worship music. They played nothing but the word. I was constantly getting fed spiritually. Even when I didn't want to be fed spiritually, I was still getting fed spiritually. They were encouraging me. This atmosphere was really conducive for me to be able to grieve. And when I say be able to grieve, like if I needed to scream, if I needed to yell, listen, I yelled at the Lord. I was very upset. I didn't say a lot of nice words. I never cursed them and turned my back on the Lord, but I was very salty. I was very upset because with my heartbreak, it was a big difference where we got to the week of where we were supposed to be married, and the week of it didn't. Everything went left. So I had a lot of bitterness, I had a lot of anger, I had a lot of confusion, I had a whole lot of that in my heart. So I had to have an atmosphere to conducive to grieve. And that's also I began to change my room to make my room begin to speak life to me and be affirmative to me, so that when I go into walking, because I spend a lot of time just in the room as well. You sleep there. So this atmosphere had to be conducive for when I did have a trigger or when I did have a moment. I had words of affirmation on my wall, things that's surrounding me that will be able to help build me up, so that this atmosphere was conducive for me to grieve, and where this atmosphere was not a hindrance. So making sure that you have an atmosphere to grieve, whether you go to someone's house, whether you go to the beach, whether you go to the park, whether you have to go and sit by a lake, by some water, the atmosphere have to be conducive for you to let out, so that you can cry, you can shout, you can scream, you can curse, whatever you need to, because sometimes those words do come up. I'm just being honest. Some people don't know how to, some people haven't all the way been delivered from curses. So a curse word or two might come out of your mouth. I'm not condoning that, but the truth of the matter is you can find yourself being so upset or so angry, and that whatever that is on the inside of you or in your heart and in your soul, you may find that coming up. So having an atmosphere that's going to be conducive for you to grieve, and where you will not be you won't be judged for how you are grieving. And so that brings me to my point number 3, which is surrounding yourself with positive people, surrounding yourself with people that's going to be of edification, that's going to be able to build you, that's going to be able to still see the good in your future, surrounding yourself with people that is going to allow to keep seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, not allowing you to give up, but also not allowing you to still wallow in the pity. So allowing you to have your moments, but also saying all right, bro, it's time for you to get up. All right, girl, we have to keep going. Girl, get up. Girl, you have to get up and you have to keep moving. There is still life. You still have life. You still have purpose. You still have destiny to pursue. So having those people that's also going to be able to speak the word to you, that's also going to get your focus back and reminding you of what God said, reminding you of God's promises that He has set before you, that even though this right here is very hurtful, it may be it may cause a lot of trauma. So I know with mine, it was a very traumatic experience. So your heartbreak may be a very traumatic experience, and then your heartbreak, it may not be a very traumatic experience. But however, whether it was traumatic or not, it's still a loss. So you have to grieve that loss, and you have to surround yourself with people that's also going to remind you of what God said about you and about your future. Remind you of what God said, because sometimes when we get into heartbreaks and stuff like that, we can sometimes frustrations and anger and bitterness, sometimes that tends to override our emotions of what we know. So it's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. You may question God as to why you are having to go through this. You may end up questioning God. You may go through a season of doubt, a season of unbelief, of you not knowing if God really loves you. So that's why it's imperative that you have someone that you surround yourself that can remind you and make sure that you stay on the right track and don't allow you to veer off to the left. Number 4, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. Going to therapy, like if you have to go to therapy, like a professional therapist, that is okay. That's what I had to do. That's what I am currently doing, is going to therapy. And therapy is very, very helpful. If you have to invest in yourself, if you going to the gym to work out, investing in yourself physically, investing in yourself mentally, reading a book or watching podcasts, watching encouraging videos. I watch a lot of messages. I watch a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of encouraging things. I read books. I've challenged myself to at least read one book once a month. So that has been my challenge, and where I'm also investing into myself. Invest in yourself. Well, if you want to go get you some ice cream or something that you like to do, go and do that. Invest in yourself. If you want to buy yourself something, go and do that. So find some type of way to invest in yourself, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, where you will be able to begin to build yourself back up if you were torn down. My apostle teaches us that if you come out, you should be able to date without being damaged. If you go into something and you come out damaged, then you did it wrong. I know we still working on trying to get that right. And so that's why we're here giving tools so that we can effectively date without coming out of it damaged or going into it damaged. Because a lot of times we go into it damaged as well. And number 5, I would say never stop believing in God, His love, and His promises. Regardless of how, with recovering from heartbreak, you have to have something that you are believing in. And for us, because we are people of faith, we cannot stop believing in God, His love, and His promises, knowing that God is still God, regardless if this person left us or not, regardless if this didn't work out or not. God is still God, and He's not changing. God is what God has said about you from the foundations of the earth, what has been preordained, what has been predestined for you, that is not changed. God still is going to manifest His promises in your life, but you have to have hope in Him in order to believe that He still is going to manifest His promises in your life. Don't allow this person, this breakup, this heartbreak to deter you or your faith from the promises of God, but knowing that everything that He has said about you, it still stands true, and but knowing that in order for us to reign with God, we must suffer with God. So just taking this moment as getting through with suffering, and then allowing the fruits of the Spirit to begin to work within you. Some of the fruits of the Spirit is also self-control, patience, love. Allow those things to begin to actually work on the inside of you, and let patience have her perfect work, and begin to trust in the Lord. Trust in God. Trust in Him. Trust in Him with all of your heart, and lean not unto your own understanding, and acknowledge Him in all your ways, and He will continue to direct your path. So continue to acknowledge Him. Acknowledge Him in the hurt. Let Him know that, hey, this is what's hurting me. Let Him know if you're upset. Let Him know if you're angry. Let Him know, God, I'm pissed. I'm pissed at this work. Listen, I had to tell God, I'm pissed. I done spent this thousands and thousands of dollars, and there's no manifest. I got this thing, a journey to the promise, and I'm not getting no promise. I had an art with God. And I had to let Him know, but I didn't stop believing in His promises. I still believe the promises of God. I still believe that there is a man out there that is going to love me unconditionally. I still believe that God has a special man out there that is going to be just for me. And we gonna be real tight. We're gonna hold each other down, like we are going to be able to give to one another. We're both going to be givers. We're both going to be able to edify. We're both going to be able to love each other. So I still believe that God has specifically cultivated and raised up a man that will have the capacity to be able to handle all aspects of temptation. He'll be able to handle my craziness, my emotions, my womanness. Is womanist word, but he'll be able to handle all aspects, my goofiness, my craziness, my ups, my downs, some of my questions. He'll be able to handle and have the capacity to be able to handle me. So you have to know that God has not forgotten about you. So never forget, that is going to be very key with you recovering from heartbreak, is you also building up your relationship in the Father and trusting in Him and believing in Him that this is not the end. This heartbreak is not the end. Yes, it hurt. Yes, it may be hard for you to see yourself without this person, but God has something better for you. The Bible tells us that there is no good thing. In Matthew 7, it says there's no good thing that the Father will withhold from us. If our mother and our father give us good things, how much more do you think that our Father, our Heavenly Father, will give us good things? So know that God is not withholding anything from you. Knowing that if He withheld it from you, if it didn't happen, if it didn't work out, then knowing that it wasn't good for you. It wasn't going to end up being good for you, and that He has something better. So I pray that this has been helpful for you. These few keys, these 5 keys. So remember, embrace your new reality. Have an atmosphere to grieve. Surround yourself with positive people. Invest in yourself emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, and never stop believing in God, His love, and His promises. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share this video. Share it with someone that you think will benefit from this video, and I hope to see you again. Remember to comment. Remember to throw down some other topics that you guys want to hear. We have some amazing things that will be coming up, and that we'll be sharing with you. This shirt, God the Promise Keeper, will be available to purchase very, 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 very soon. So I look forward to seeing you, and until next time.